What's up, guys? So today we're gonna be coloring. It's my first video I made, so can y'all help me out? Let's pick a page. This one. I'm only allowed to use the shade of pink and purple. So yeah, I hope this looks good. Oh yeah, and comment what color I should use next. And while we're doing this, we're going to be listening to the Boxcar Children.
Why are you so scared? Asked Henry. I think it's Pat, said Mike, still staring at the boat. Pat? Who is he? Asked Henry. He's my brother, said Mike. He's 11 years old. I think he was the one in the water. You can't see that far, said Morris. What makes you think so, Mike? Well, I told him there would be something to eat at this picnic, and that maybe we'd play ball. I begin to see, said Henry, looking at Morris. Do you know who the other boy is? Maybe Johnny, said Mike. I told Johnny too, and he knew about a rowboat he could get. How did they get the boat? They just took it, said Mike. What an awful thing to do, shouted Henry. Besides, they can't swim or row. It did seem so, for Joe was rowing. One boy was out of sight in the boat, and the other boy sat at one end. When Jessie saw the boat coming, she called to Marjorie. Let's run to the barn and get some blankets and towels. Good for you, Jessie, called Joe when the girls brought the blankets. Lay them down on the other side of the fire. Jessie and Marjorie spread out the blankets, while Henry and Morris caught the boat as it landed on the beach. It is Pat, said Mike in a frightened voice. Isn't it, Johnny? Yes, said Johnny, but he'll be all right. This man said so. He's lucky, said Henry. Lucky that Joe knew how to swim. Pat was very still when the boys helped Joe lift him out of the boat and roll him in a blanket by the fire. We won't talk to him now, said Joe, rubbing the boy's hair with the towel. I guess you won't have to talk to him, said Johnny, who was very white. We won't ever take a boat again. No, I don't believe you will either, called Joe, as he went back to the hut for dry clothes. Just then, Mike said, Pat didn't get any dinner. Will you heat up the chowder for him, Henry? He can't eat when he's sound asleep, can he? Asked Morris. No, but he'll wake up when he smells the chowder, said Mike. Maybe I can have some more myself, because I didn't eat much lunch. Oh, I should say you didn't, said Morris. Only 3 bowls full. I'll tell you what we can do, said Joe, who had come back wearing dry clothes. We have just enough to play ball if Mike is eating and doesn't want to play. Oh, I want to play! I want to play! Shouted Mike, jumping up and forgetting about the cut on his foot. And so all the children played ball. Later, there was more chowder for everyone, and Pat did wake up when he smelled the food. This is the best picnic I've ever been to, said Mike, passing his bowl again. Hold on there, warned Joe. Don't give him any more, Henry. 6 bowls of chowder in one day are enough for one small boy. Just then, Captain Daniel came with the boat to take the children home. And now, Benny began to cry because his friend was going. Oh, what are you crying about, Ben? Asked Mike, for home in the boat. When Mike could not hear Benny's answer, he put his 2 hands up to his mouth and shouted, Buddy can run faster than Wodge! Well, Benny, don't you care, said Henry. Just be glad the day is over with no more trouble. You're right, said Joe. What a day. Then, Henry remembered that Joe had said he was well again. And when Henry told Jessie about it later, she thought it was very strange, too.
So guys, I'm not a professional.
Chapter 13.
Colors. So
Joe
don't make
again.
fun of me.
I wish Mike would come over every day,
We
said
only
Benny
have
one
2 more
morning.
chapters.
Well, I don't, said all the others at once. Henry looked up. I think we can get along without any company at all. You don't call Joe company, do you? Asked Violet. Oh, no, said Henry. He's just one of the family. Why? Did you want to invite him to eat with us? No, said Violet slowly. But today he said I would be ready to play for you after my lesson. Have him stay to supper, said Jessie. She looked at Henry. Benny, come here, said Henry. Did you know that today is your birthday? No, said Benny, walking over to his brother. Well, it is, Henry went on. And now, what do you want for a present? We will buy it for you. Cream, said Benny. Do you mean ice cream? Asked Henry. No, I don't. I mean cream in a bottle, like milk. A big bottle, not a little one. That's a queer kind of present, said Violet. You want to drink it? Asked Jessie. No, I want to put it on some blackberries like Peter Rabbit. We'll get him a big bottle of cream then, Jessie, said Henry, laughing. Benny began to jump around the barn and yell. Benny, said Jessie, Violet is going to bake you a birthday cake before she takes her lesson. Is she? Asked Benny, giving a last yell. I want to watch her make my cake. Violet got out her cooking things. She laid everything she needed on the pie board. We will put the candles around the cake, said Violet. I want a candle in the middle, said Benny. Yes, but we want to save the middle. Violet stopped suddenly. Never mind, said Jessie. Benny doesn't know what we want to save the middle for. The cake looked wonderful. And when Violet took it out of the oven, Benny said, It smells just like a birthday cake. Before she put the frosting on, Violet put the cake on 2 plates to get cold. Let's sit down, said Jessie, and have a quick lunch of bread and milk. Then Henry can get the ice cream and candles, and Violet can take her lesson while I wash the dishes.
The Bible verses.
I'll wipe the dishes for you, said Benny. Aren't you a good boy? Cried Jessie. And on your birthday, too. You will have a happy birthday, I'm sure. They were just finishing when Joe and Violet came in carrying their violins. Violet is ready to play for you, said Joe. Will everyone please sit down? Jessie was excited as she sat down on one of the boxes between Henry and Benny. Violet did not seem to be either excited or afraid. It was the first time she had played for anyone besides Joe. She waited now, holding her violin, for her teacher to tell her where to stand. Joe told Violet to stand facing the door. He stood with his back to the wall, where he could watch Violet. Then they began to play.
Almost done.
Violet's part was very easy, but Joe's part was hard. It seemed to be only Violet's playing that the children heard. Violet did not seem like their sister. Beautiful, cried Jessie at the end.
So
She's
guys,
good, isn't she?
I am on my
asked Joe,
9,
turning around.
so I'm not a professional.
Wonderful, said Henry. She could be a real violin player, couldn't she, Joe? She could be, and she will be, replied Joe. I wish Violet would play it again, so I would get used to it, said Benny. Do play it again, said Jessie. I could listen all day. Violet and Joe began to play the piece again. When they were halfway through it, Mr. Browning appeared at the barn door. Violet looked up and smiled, but she did not stop playing. When the piece was finished, Mr. Browning cried, John! Joe turned around and said, Oh, Mr. Browning! He held out his hand. I'm really glad to see you. Everything is all right again. Well, I'm glad to see you, my boy, said Mr. Browning. I've been looking for you for a long time. Here are my friends, said Joe. This is Jessie. Oh, we did meet, Mr. Browning, said Jessie with a smile. We know him quite well. Please, everybody sit down. I could never forget the girl who makes apple pies with a green bottle, said Mr. Browning, taking the company chair. Or this little girl who
One
plays the
last
violin
thing.
so well. You see, children, this Joe of yours is my best friend.
Oh.
He's my best friend, said Benny. Yes, I think you told me so when I was here before, answered the man, looking at Benny. But he was my best friend before he was yours. Benny thought this over. He could have two best friends, he said. Good for you. Will you let me ask him where he has been and what is the matter with him? Nothing.
So I paused it. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it too well. But the Bible verse says here. The little Bible verse says, do everything in love. 1 Corinthians 16:4. Thanks for watching. Annalie.